This very framework I'm about to show you is raking in over 5 million monthly organic visitors to our clients across all of our clients. And I'm about to show you the exact blueprint. So let's go, let's roll. The businesses you see right here, they're screenshots up from our clients' Google Analytics portal. And if they turned off their ads today, not much would change. That's the power of this framework, okay? They would continue to grow page users and revenue month over month, regardless if their ads were on or not. By the end of this document, you will have learned how to transform a bland and generic blog into an organic traffic machine, as I've said. You will also learn how to turn those readers into revenue with our checklist that I'm going to provide you. And I'm also going to show you a 7-figure SaaS example of a client of ours that we tripled their user base using this exact framework. And by the way, if you want us to implement this guide for you, we've done this well over 2 dozen times for all of our B2B SaaS clients. And we've gotten them game-changing results. So if you want us to handle it for you, we will. If you want an over-the-shoulder, done-with-you approach, we also offer that. We'll consult you. We'll help you out. The link's in the description. You can book a call with us. Before you start, you need to identify your ideal customer profile. You cannot create a blog if you don't know who you're writing for, okay? And if you have a SaaS company, you probably already know your customer segments. Here's where you list them out, right? Remember, whoever they are, okay, as a B2B SaaS company, your blog content is going to target the people who meet the following 3 criteria, okay? Number 1, can I zoom this in a little more? Yeah. Number 1, it's a cold audience you're targeting. Number 2, they're not already familiar with your product. And number 3, they're looking for a solution, okay? If for some reason you don't have your ICP in mind, use this ChatGPT prompt to help you and it'll go through it with you. All right, let's talk about which part of the funnel you're targeting as a B2B SaaS company. What we're not going to do is target the unaware stage. We're not going to do this for 2 reasons. Number 1, the people at the unaware stage are generally not that sophisticated. They're not ready for a purchase. They're asking things like how to improve lead generation because they don't know what's specifically wrong with their business or website or approach. So they're Googling very, surface level stuff like how to improve lead generation. And these aren't people who are ready to buy your product. So you're not going to prioritize content that's made for them. And there's a second reason why you're not going to prioritize content that's made for them. And that's because of AI, generative AI. We all know Google generative AI is coming. And if you don't know what it is yet, it's basically this ChatGPT interface integrated into Google where you can type in a long question or a query like this, how to improve lead generation. And it'll no longer take you to a blog post. It'll just give you the answer just like ChatGPT does, right? So targeting content like that it doesn't make sense anymore in 2023. So those are 2 reasons why we don't target the people at the unaware stage. They're not driving the business for you anyway. So don't worry about it. That's why we kind of cut this out and we focus on everything below the problem aware stage. So because we're targeting everyone below the problem aware stage, now we have people who can actually be introduced to our tool and may actually consider buying our software. Example questions these people are asking are, why is my website not generating leads? So they've identified the problem. They're aware of the problem which is that they're not getting leads because something is wrong with their website. Reasons for low website conversion rates, right? How to detect website performance issues. They've recognized their website as a culprit and they're looking for solutions. So if you're a landing page building tool or something like that, these are queries you would target because this is relevant to you. And then we have the solution aware stage where users know solutions exist, they just don't know you exist. So they're Googling things like software to improve website conversion rates or best lead generation tools or software for website performance analysis, right? This is where you would come, whether through, product listicles, comparisons, stuff like that. And then we have the product aware stage where you want to show why they should go with you over the other person. So if you're HubSpot, you want to write an article, you better write a damn good article making a strong case for why they should go with HubSpot and not Marketo for lead generation. And you get the gist. So with this product-led blog, we're targeting people who are aware of a problem and they need to fix it. We're targeting people who are aware of a solution, but they don't know which one to go with. Then we're targeting people who are aware of your product and other competitors, and they need some convincing to go with you. I linked this screenshot right here, which is part of our B2B SaaS site skeleton, which is not loading. Okay, it's loading. Right here, this part, we give you some broad content ideas on what to create for each part of the funnel. So you can look at that on your own time. Okay, so now let's talk about the toolkit you're going to need to actually research the topics for your blog. So this is going to be crucial because this is what will define what you're writing about. So there are 2 ways to do this. Number 1 is a DIY method that you do yourself. So you can either go and Answer the Public, which is a tool, and Google search and start brainstorming keywords that customers at different parts of the funnel that we covered here might be looking for. And then just look at what competitors are posting, look at what's showing up on Google, and determine some topics from there. Another way you can brainstorm easier is by using ChatGPT. So you just ask it, you just tell it, my SaaS tool does this and this, it has these and these features. What are specific things that people are searching at the problem aware part of the funnel, at the solution aware part of the funnel, at the product aware part of the funnel that I can address as topics? I would highly recommend that you get this add-on for ChatGPT called AI PRM. And this is essentially an SEO add-on, and it's going to save you a lot of time because it has ready-made prompt templates that you can just one click and then it'll give you a bunch of answers. But I would honestly tell you to use Answer the Public, ChatGPT, and SEMrush in tandem. You have to use all 3 together because while these 2 are good for brainstorming and research, you actually need live data to know what topics to prioritize. And what I mean by that is you need to target topics that are low competition and high volume, because ChatGPT will not be able to provide that for you. And if we're not going to go through the keyword research process in this video, because it's going to take forever. And also it's, we use a very different process in our agency, one that aggregates a bunch of tools together using a software called Supermetrics. And then we create a robust content strategy based on your website and your current content and your competitors and your total addressable market and some other stuff. So if you're interested in that, number two, the other way to go about this is to hire us and we'll take care of it for you. We'll tell you which topics to write, how to write them, what to include, and then you give those briefs to your writers, or you just let us write it and then we'll send it over to you 100% SEO optimized, ready to compete on search engines. So those are your two options. Okay, now it is time to talk about the ideal blog page structure itself. So this isn't the specific blog posts, this is the blog page. So this is what's on the nav bar of your website. This is Gong's, the blog right here. This is Jasper's learn blog right here. So this is the page we're talking about right now. So a couple of best practices that we want to go over. Do not be afraid to give your blog a cool name. For example, Gong, they named theirs revenue intelligence blog. And on the search engine results page, if you type in their blog, it says the #1 data-backed sales blog on the internet, right? Make a statement for your blog. This is your resource hub, right? Speaking of resource hubs, look at what Jasper named theirs. Jasper blog, AI marketing resource hub. A quick note I do want to add is you can just say blog on the nav bar. You'll notice like Jasper and Gong, what they did was they gave their blog a cool name, but on the actual tab, it's just a blog for simplicity's sake, so people know what to expect. So that's something to keep in mind. You can name yours whatever you want, Learn Hub, SaaS Product Academy, like HubSpot Academy, whatever it is. Make it interesting, and then give a few lines that really inspires readers, that convinces them that your blog is the best blog on the internet. And by the way, apologies for the cough. You probably heard it a couple times across the video. I have a bit of a cold. Then you want to add blog categories, and this should be based on visitor intent or broad topic umbrellas. So this is how you organize all your blog posts into like almost chapters or different umbrellas. So if you look at our blog, we organized all of our blog posts under SEO, content marketing, and SaaS. So that's something you can do, right? So if you look at Gong's blog, theirs is much more, comprehensive. You can have customer stories, customer success, revenue intelligence, sales enablement, sales management, and whatnot. So this depends on how many you're willing to do. But to start, just focus on 2 or 3. And this is a must-have. Everything I'm mentioning in this video is an absolute must. Just listen to me and do it. I can go on for like 10 minutes on why this is a good idea for Google and users, okay? But I'm saving you time, and I'm just telling you to do it because this has worked time and time again for my clients. We've generated over $5 million with this exact framework. So just listen to me. Quick note, don't forget to incorporate these categories into your URLs. So for HubSpot, it was like, if they're talking about marketing without budget, that falls under their marketing umbrella of topics. Add search functionality on your blog homepage. So Gong does this really good. This is your own little Google search bar, because when you have dozens of blog posts, you need something easy to search. Keep your pillar content and popular posts sections at the top of your page. Again, we'll just use Gong right here. They have their most featured, they have featured blog posts here that move their bottom line the most, that add the most value. So they're at the top right here. If your most important articles are not at the top, then they're going to get lost and buried under the sea of new content that you're supposed to post. And then you have internal linking. If you don't know what internal linking is, it's basically linking to other relevant articles within your blog post that are relevant to the topic. So if you were, let's say right here, if these were your blog categories and these were your subcategories, you're internally linking back to these pages, right? Because that's what they're relevant for. You're not linking this blog post right here with this one over here that's completely irrelevant. This one's about sales enablement, and then this one is about, customer retention or whatever. So these are not related, so you wouldn't link these, but you would link these because these are related. That's what internal linking is. You can watch more videos on it on YouTube too. I'll probably make a video on it too. These are the little things that make people prefer your blog over every other one on the internet. There's a reason 99% of blogs aren't doing this. And if you are, you will come out ahead. So now is where we pull out our readers to revenue checklist. This section will give you everything you need to write a blog post that's optimized for conversions, that's optimized for search engines, that's optimized to keep readers hooked and convince them that your software solution is the way. Okay, let's go. From the get-go, you want credibility above the fold. If you have an industry expert writing that article, communicate that, show that. You always want a profile picture, full name, and their position. Don't put, by editorial team or by John Smith, right? Either if you're the founder, just use your name, right? And just publish everything under your name. Or if you have guest posts or other writers or other subject matter experts on your writing team or your writing community, then mention their name, profile picture, and give a short bio. I can go on and ramble on about why it's good for search engines, but all you really need to know as a B2B SaaS founder is that it's important. You want images that are clear and that relate to the title itself. You can hire designers on Fiverr to even create custom illustrations for you. But it's worth the investment because these are the things that will set you apart from other blogs on the internet. These are the things that will compel people to click. So that's why it's very important. And make sure your images have good loading speeds to avoid any bounces, because if a page takes too long to load because of all the images, then that's bad because users are going to leave because they won't wait. So there are a lot of plugins on WordPress, for example, that will compress your images but retain the quality. So look into those. And I want to add that you'll need a snippet, and this cannot usually be your intro paragraph. you have to create a separate snippet which acts as a teaser or 2 to 3 sentence pitch for why a user should click on that article. And so it should clearly communicate what will be covered, the benefits of reading that blog post in a very concise, compelling manner, usually a couple sentences. The goal of 1, 2, and 3 is to make a compelling case for why a viewer should click on the piece. On your blog posts, you have white real estate on the left, you have white real estate on the right. If you leave these sides blank, you're leaving money on the table. So on the left, what you're gonna have is your table of contents to make the navigation experience very easy. And it's gonna be floating. So it goes down the blog post, it's gonna follow them, and they can navigate very easily between sections. You can see why if you were demonstrating how your tool was used, a reader would quickly need to scroll to another section to go look at that step, look at that screenshot, and then understand where to go from there. So that's one very unique example of why for B2B SaaS companies, this is a very valuable tip. And then you have your social share buttons. Obviously, SEO shouldn't be your only channel. You should be posting on social media. You should have a social media presence. And so people can quote certain things and then post it on social media, increasing your brand and product awareness. So for the right side CTAs, you always just want to have a sticky floating product CTA, whether it's to a free trial or it's to a demo. It's always best to have a product one. You could also create a YouTube CTA to link to your YouTube channel if the reader prefers to watch things over reading things. That is an option. But remember, the most important one is that product CTA, whether it's, again, a free trial or demo. And the next most important thing is to make sure that there's not much clutter, because you already have the table of contents on the left with social sharing buttons, and now you have a product CTA. So make sure that you see your margins carefully and make sure it doesn't look too cluttered, because if it looks too cluttered, you're going to come off too salesy. You're going to come off too distracting, right? You need to still let the reader focus. Okay, now let's go through the blog content template. So before we were talking about the skeleton and design, and now we're talking about what's going inside. Starting with the headline, this is how you make a compelling one. Follow this formula: keyword, expectation, plus value, plus action, okay? If you implement all 4, you're going to get a click-worthy headline. So let's see this in an example. The topic is CRM efficiency. So maximize CRM efficiency, 5 quick hacks with Sales Master Pro. Okay, so let's see the elements of the formula in action. Keyword, CRM efficiency. Expectation, 5 quick hacks. Value, maximizing CRM efficiency and the hacks, right? And the action is Sales Master Pro. So that's how you're getting it done, how you're maximizing CRM efficiency. So it's informative, it's concise, and it's compelling. Look at the copy I wrote here, right? I could have very easily said, oops, my Siri turned on. I could have very easily said 5 quick steps, 5 quick things, right? But I said hacks. This is how you need to phrase your title. You need to get creative with it a little. I was a copywriter in my past life, but if you can use ChatGPT or something, or you can hire my agency, but it's your choice. But whatever you do, try to be creative with it. Right? I've maintained an average of 60% readership rates on all my articles on Medium because I know how to write good hooks. And this is a skill, and you need to learn it, or just use this ChatGPT prompt and then just have it help you. But the moral of the story is your blog post needs to hook them to keep reading. And then to keep reading, you also then need to work on the actual article itself and make sure it's organized in a concise and structured manner. And that's what point 3 is about: optimize post structure. Basically, when you're maybe writing the article first on Google Docs, don't ignore these. Okay, these are auto-configured for you. All you have to do is click heading 1, which is your title, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, right? And it's intuitive. Heading 2s are like the different sections of your blog post, and heading 3s are the subsections of each of those sections. And also make your content skimmable. Please, ladies and gentlemen, we are not living in 2011 anymore. Those one-click generated articles, copy-pasted, and then people just expect you to read through all of it. You could have the Krabby Patty secret formula in there, but no one's getting to it because no one knows it's there, because no one bothered to even go that deep. This is how you make it skimmable. Keep your paragraphs and sentences short, no more than 3 to 4 lines. Use bulleted lists whenever you can to organize and display ideas, like actionable tips, maybe lists, to-dos, best practices. Whenever you can, instead of like a comma inside a paragraph, try to list it out. And take advantage of typography, right? So bold things, italicize things, underline things, whatever helps the reader have a better experience reading. The font size and spacing I've left for you right here: 16 to 18, 150% line spacing, and these are your font options. These are the best performing ones for readability, so choose one of them. And then you have HTML elements and callouts. All this is it's text reorganized in a colorful way, right? This example right here, the pro tip could theoretically just be another paragraph, but it was done like this with a different background color, bolded text. Remember I said typography, and a link too is because it's meant to stand out. And what this tells the reader on a subconscious level is that these guys actually care about me. These guys are going out of their way to add bonus elements to their content, right? This is what differentiates you and the other bland content online that's just long paragraphs and like all looking the same and stuff like that. Very easy way to do it. must add images in 2023 for your articles if you want to have rankings for years, traffic for years. These are mandatory. Inside all of our plans, we add custom graphics as a default option because they get 94% more views, they're shared more, they're spread more, they're more convenient, they're appreciated. They increase your product awareness, they increase your brand awareness. And so it was just a no-brainer for us to integrate this into our offer for B2B SaaS companies. But that is to say, you should definitely add images. You can hire people on Fiverr to create them for you. They're creatives who can do that for you based on a piece of text you provide them. So that's something you can do alongside your writing. And product screenshots are also very important. Listen, it is not a product-led blog without the product. The entire point of the blog is to show your SaaS in action. The entire point of the blog is to show users that your SaaS exists and how it can change them for the better. So that's why product screenshots are like important. They're paramount because without them, again, no product-led blog. And keyword usage. You want to insert the primary keyword title inside throughout your article and also in the meta description and URL. We use a tool like Surfer to help us do this, where they give us a bunch of keywords and the optimal ranges that we then use inside our articles to outcompete competitors. It's not mandatory for you. Just make sure you're targeting some semantically related keywords. You can get ChatGPT's help for this. You'll be like, what are some keywords related to the primary keyword? And then they'll give you some that you can add into your writing. Internal linking is very important because it's basically showing Google that all these pages are connected and they're talking about the same core topic. And that's what topical authority is, literally, right? That's the name of the game in 2023 SEO. You need to build topical authority, complete expertise demonstration for a certain niche or topic. And you do that by showing Google. You write and connect a lot of the things you're saying to a core topic. That's why internal linking is important. So Quidlo is a timesheet tracker, and the product-led blog that we created for them tripled their user base. We only wrote content for them. I think that speaks volumes to the strategy. So here's what they did right. Sticky product CTA. On the right, like I said, they have a logo. They have a clear title explaining what they do, and they go into some details here that are compelling details, that are risk reversals. Pay attention, risk reversals, unlimited time tracking for everyone on your team. Sign up free, no credit card required. It's not 2016, so please stop asking for credit cards. No companies are doing that right now, so don't do it either. Like, stop doing it. Competition is advancing, move with the competition. Again, so CTA, intro on them, risk reversals, and then the actual button itself. And this follows the reader as they scroll through. So that's why this is very important. And here you'll notice the custom branded graphics we talked about. It's going to be a later point, but I'm just showing you right now. Like we had the right side CTA here, in-content CTAs are weaved into your blog post. So they have to be relevant to the actual paragraphs that precede it or follow it. So you want to make sure that you're not being too salesy here and it's actually relevant to the text. Now you have custom branded graphics. So this is the kind of stuff that will get people to link back to your website 100% naturally. This is the stuff right here that will get shared on the internet, that will increase your product and brand awareness and really make you an industry authority. Because 99% of blogs out there are not creating images like this. And we make this a standard in all of our content plans because in the age of AI written content where people are one-click generating stuff, right? Bland things that are never going to rank. This is very important to differentiate because those strategies you'll see online where they're like saying, oh, I one-click generated 1,000 articles, posted online, and I got a huge surge in traffic. Sure, you did. But what they're not telling you is that 6 to 12 months later, those rankings disappear. That traffic disappears. Why? Because 30 other companies are doing the same thing with the same content, and it's all recycled generic garbage. So that's why unique insights, custom branded graphics, actionable tips, up-to-date statistics are all things you absolutely need to win in the era of AI-generated content on search engines, 2023 and beyond. So look, another example, we took a boring chart or an Excel sheet full of data that we got from a statistics company, and then we created a branded graphic that makes it look sexy. And of course, again, the product screenshots, these are mandatory. And I'll show you right now through an example. This blog post is about how to track employee hours worked, right? So if we're talking about that as the topic and the user's reading through the blog post, now we added a product screenshot with a shout out to our tool with Quidlo. You can do this and this. This is the exact moment a user becomes aware of your solution. Before, they were problem aware. If you remember the funnel we were talking about earlier, they were problem aware. They understood they had a problem and they were looking for a solution. This is where they were introduced to your solution right here. Do you see how these blog posts address each part of that funnel that we talked about earlier? This is why it works. This is more graphics, more product screenshots, and then internal links like I talked about. These are topics related to the main topic, so we linked it out to those articles. So the user A can stay longer on the site, absorb more information, become more familiar with the brand, and then have more opportunities to find the tool itself, your software, discover your software. Human voices and opinions will matter much, much more. So a tool like Haru can help you with this, which basically connects journalists to subject matter experts and industry professionals. So you can take advantage of this platform to find industry professionals and ask them questions, get unique advice that is real time, something AI cannot duplicate. And your conclusion should be 2 paragraphs, a para summing up the article, and then a short paragraph summing up your tool and how it's relevant to the title with the hyperlink to the sign up page. So this is an example of that right here. And then you also want to add, it's not, I know it says and or, but try to get these both. Okay, try to get these both because you really need a attractive CTA that looks like this to establish more credibility and make it more compelling. And that concludes this readers to revenue checklist.